Hello, welcome to Webeo Futures, bite-sized educational resources at the forefront of digital marketing. In this video, I will cover the most common CRO mistakes and how to avoid them. Failing to plan is planning to fail, as Benjamin Franklin once said. Conversion rate optimization is a systematic process, a lot like a scientific experiment. So before you start to make any changes to your website, you should think logically, end-to-end, about what your goals are. What does success look like for you exactly? Which elements will you change to try and reach your goals, and why? What is the expected outcomes of each change? How will you measure your results? What KPI metrics will you monitor? And what are your next steps? Analyze your marketing funnel to see at what stage your prospects are dropping off. Locate and fix any gaps in data in your current online sales funnel. Look at how you can fill these gaps so that you're analyzing the complete process and not making any assumptions. A common misconception is that calls to action should be above the fold, and although as a general rule this is true, it's not always the case. If your product is a big ticket item or one that takes a little more explaining for prospects to fully understand the value, then you need to consider the placement of your call to action nearer to the bottom of the page, giving the prospect a chance to fully digest what it is they're inquiring about or purchasing. If you're selling a simple, low-value product, then yes, absolutely, the call to action being nearer the top is the way to go, as prospects will make their decisions faster. I once had a junior marketeer come to me after using a screen recording application and highlight that people were not interacting with one tab on the page as much as the other two tabs. It was proposed that we switch the order of the tabs so that the more relevant content was shown first. A great idea, and from the initial data, it seemed like the only logical step. What was not considered was that the poor performing tab was the initial loading tab, and as such, would naturally have a lower rate of clicks on the tab as it was already preloaded on the page. We did test switching the tabs on A/B split tests, and the conversions on the page went down as the initial tab was proving the ROI of the product, whereas the other two tabs were the benefits of the solution. As such, prospects saw more of how the system works compared with how the system can help them. Once we reverted back, the conversion rate increased back to its normal rate, and this prompted us to change the copy to more of the key pages to include ROI instead of content. As marketeers, we already know that content is king, but when you're trying to convert someone from prospect to inquiry, it is vital that your copy includes the following: urgency, benefits to the user, benefits of the product, and making it simple and effective. Use words of high intent such as get, now, and today, and set deadlines to take action. Use data and statistics to back up your messaging and make sure you highlight them. Colors improve the appeal of your website massively and can be used to change the perception of your brand and draw attention to key areas, such as your calls to action. A recent study found that people make subconscious judgments about an environment or product within 90 seconds, and between 62% and 90% of that assessment is based on color alone. Color can absolutely affect buying habits, so looking at the type of customer you're marketing to will have a huge impact on how you create your campaigns. A recent study by Kissmetrics found that impulse shoppers tend to be attracted by reds and pinks, blacks and blues. We mentioned at the start, conversion rate optimization is a process, but it is also a cycle. Once you've completed one test, make sure you analyze the results to conclusion and create your next action plan. Your findings can be used to start a new process or cycle, depending on how your last experiment increased or decreased your conversion rates. We hope you found this helpful. Please feel free to comment below in the video, and should you have any questions, one of our team will get back to you. Follow @Webeo Global on LinkedIn to see the latest Webeo Futures assets in your feed as they go live.